Alright, so it's been a little while since I've made a video, and it's been a few things I wanted to talk about, but not badly enough to overcome my laziness and procrastination. But as probably all of you know, they unveiled the new Nissan Leaf like 4 or 5 days ago, and like I feared may be the case, they're just gonna go with the 40 kilowatt battery right now. I think their thing right now is to try to make the cheapest decent EV, because that's definitely a concern, is that the EVs are overpriced and not affordable to most people, which is why I was so happy that these used electric cars were so much cheaper. And that might be a good idea. Two more things they have working in their favor is that, from what I've heard, Chevy isn't really thrilled about electric cars, so like they aren't pushing the Bolt very hard, and people like going to get the Bolt and the salespeople don't know anything about it, and they try to push gas cars on them and stuff. So Nissan's done a good job of getting electric cars out, so the fact that the Bolt doesn't seem as serious, even though it's a decent car, and that the Model 3 is super backlogged on orders and won't be available for over a year, might help Nissan get away with only having the 40 kilowatt battery. But they did mention something about maybe a year from now putting out a higher end model that has a 60 kilowatt battery, and in my opinion, the quicker they do that, the better, because in all honesty, like if you get a little economy car that has like a little 10-gallon gas tank and gets like 30 miles to a gallon, you can go 300 miles. And you can go and refill that car in 5 to 10 minutes at a gas station. So I think just to make the transition smoother, just to make people more comfortable with electric cars, they gotta make the charging infrastructure better, so that, you know, there's one every 150 miles at least, maybe even more, like every 50 miles. And they gotta make these cars so they can go about 300 miles on a charge, and that they can quick charge in 30 minutes or less. I mean, that just seems like what you would have to do to make the transition smoother, to get people more warmed up to the idea. Because a lot of us who have electric cars don't care about all that stuff. We care about the pluses a lot more than the negatives, and so we're willing to put up with any inconveniences and stuff. But that's not the way the average typical run-of-the-mill person is. If one thing's convenient and flows with their life really well, and another thing is inconvenient and gives them a lot of extra time consuming things to deal with, they're gonna choose the first choice. So I definitely think range is important. I know most people don't drive that many miles a majority of the time, but I think a lot of people drive further than 100 miles quite a number of times during the year. The average person, I bet, at least once a month, once every other month, most people drive further than a regular little electric car could go. So that's why I think range is important. I think a good charging infrastructure is important, and I think reasonably quick charging is important. If you had charging structures every 50 miles or so, and they could quick charge up to 80% in about 30 minutes, I think that would be a start. I think people could kind of work with that. So until they do that, I think it's gonna be early adopters and people that just care a lot about clean energy that are gonna do the switch, and everyone else will be lagging behind until they improve that stuff. That's just my thought on things. So I really hope that Nissan starts putting out some bigger batteries, especially as the technology just keeps advancing and getting cheaper. And once things get more affordable, that should help as well. So sorry I haven't made a video in a long time. Hope you're all having a great day, and I'm off to have a nice meal now.